I'm Morgan from Pack Hacker, and in this video we're taking a look at the Chrome Industries Mini Tensile Sling, which I've been testing for 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, hit subscribe so that we can continue making content that helps you travel smarter. Let's jump in. So this mini sling is about 2-liter capacity, which is really ideal for everyday essentials and daily carry. I found it works really well for just everything that I would ordinarily put in a pocket plus some. So I really appreciated that. And it's still in like a fairly small and like compact form factor, which I had no issues wearing like over my jacket, or sometimes I would wear it under my jacket, and it didn't stick out nearly as much as like some other like slings or dedicated like everyday carry essential packs. So I really appreciated that. As for the construction, as you can see, it's got this is like their amber, like yellow colorway, and it has the X pack fabric with like the little X's, X like the grids. And this here is just for aesthetic. I was wondering if there was something deeper to it, like maybe attachment points or anything like that. Nope, this is just as like a nice little aesthetic piece, as well as the logo, which, by the way, this is one of the logos, which takes up like a decent amount of size on the front. And then on the buckle is another chrome logo. And then there's like a little flap in the interior. The materials are really weather resistant. They have a like tarp feel to them, which at first I was kind of not a huge fan of, but after a while it kind of grew on me. Now it's not an issue. And then the zippers have a PU coating on them to help ensure that they stay like weather sealed as well as possible. And I did get caught out in the rain a couple times, and I never had any issues with any of my gear getting wet inside, which I really appreciate. And for having this PU coating, these zippers like are pretty smooth. I was pleasantly surprised at just how easy it is to use these zippers, especially around the corners, which tends to be like many bags like Achilles heel is getting it around the corner. Despite its small form factor, it does store like a decent amount of gear as well. So I really like that about this sling. As for how you carry the sling, it is a traditional like over the shoulder strap, and it is fixed. It is not removable. And it is attached by this plastic buckle right here, which pretty straightforward. There's no other like grab handle or attachment points for this, just to make a note of that. So if you're not carrying it by like the shoulder strap or like in a sling, you kind of just hold it, and it's like a nice size. It's like a clutch, I imagine. So it is small enough that you can store just about anything and like throw this in or put this in like a backpack. If you're traveling, I think that works really well. The strap itself has like a soft nylon material, and it's a little wider than I originally thought was necessary, but after wearing it for a little bit, I found it to be incredibly comfortable. It also is pretty smooth and easy to adjust as well, either on the fly or like right now. And then it has strap keepers to keep everything nicely organized and contained. So this is what it looks like on. As you can see, it's pretty minimal. Like I mentioned before, it has like a fairly small form factor, and depending on what you decide to put in it, the strap does a really good job of distributing the weight so that it doesn't dig into your shoulders. But then again, it's also only 2 liters, so you can't fit too much into it, but something to keep in mind. Another thing that I wanted to note is the strap connects on one side only. So depending on how you like to wear your sling, you might have to like have a like dominant shoulder way if you like to have the attachment point in the front or the back. I never really noticed an issue depending. I like to kind of go from like one side to the other, and I found it just as comfortable and just as easy to like get on or off. And so having it in the front like this works really well. And then, like I said, because of its like wider, like smaller form factor, it's really easy to like slip under a jacket. The only secondary compartment on this sling is a rear compartment right here, and it has a zipper with that same PU coating for weather protection. and it has a little dock here where you can like really secure it in. I think that's just to ensure that the sides don't have any like potential access or get like water or snow or any kind of weather into them. I don't think it's for security, just because the pull tabs and the zipper themselves still stick out, kind of making it pretty obvious and very easy to get in and out of. And then this pocket in particular, I usually just kept it open, just because I would slip things in here like a wallet, or I use this most specifically for like my phone. I have a 15 Pro Max, and so I will note that it does take like a little bit of work to get in, but it does fit, and you can secure it all of the way. But because it's a little tight, I found myself not really using it like that, just because I didn't like having to wrestle with the sling in order to get my phone in and out. So what I would do is just kind of let it sit on top, especially if I had it on and I just needed both of my hands really quickly. And this worked really, really well, just to ensure like it kept the phone in and it didn't drop. Inside, there's no organization or anything like that. It's basically just like a smooth pocket, but yeah, it worked. And you can choose to secure it or keep it open like I did. And I appreciate that, just because if there was like when I put my wallet in here, having it be secured was more important, just because it actually fit. Moving on to the main compartment. This pocket has dual zippers, which is really nice because you can store them on one side or the other depending on how you want to access the pocket. They come down a decent way so that you can really get a nice overview of everything inside. Inside I have a bunch of stuff, but starting off, let's see. There is a key clip, which has a very interesting attachment with, this is just basic plastic, but it bends and you can kind of like just slip your keys or anything like that on really easily. I found this works really well one-handed, getting stuff off, but it sometimes requires two hands to get it back on, which isn't like a huge deal. The strap or the attachment is just basically like a nylon webbing. It doesn't have any stretch or anything like that, and it is attached to the top of the pocket. So when not in use, it can just kind of hang out and get out of the way. Inside, there's a bigger, like a main compartment with right here that spans the full width of the bag, and there's that Chrome Industries logo. And inside I have just like a field notes notebook, another pair of AirPods, and a pen. And it has a decent amount of stretch to it and can fit a good amount. I will note that when not in use, it does just kind of tend to like hang there loosely, which isn't a huge issue, but does kind of get in the way when not in use. And then on the other side are two similar pockets as well. Inside I just have my wallet, pack of tissue, and chapstick. And these are also made from like a very stretchy mesh so that you can really get away with pushing the limits of these pockets. Aside from that, they kind of sit up elevated so that you can still store things right here in the middle. And it has like a nice amount of space for like extra random stuff as well. I found that storing stuff in the sides didn't eat up into this pocket's like the dump site basically, and I really, really appreciated that because it allowed me to kind of push the limits of like what I could store if I was getting like more keys, or if I wanted to like throw in some snacks or something like that. I never had any issues with like storing stuff in this specific like main compartment. So I think this was like really, really well executed, and I find it really, really helpful and very useful. So there you have it, the Chrome Industries Mini Tensile Sling. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next video.